Okay, before we really get into what this video is, here's just all the cats. So if you're here for just the 20 cat locations,
That's
here they
me.
are in chronological order. I'm pretty sure they're in the same spot as they are in normal Tokyo Dark as they are in Remembrance.
Wow, we skipped a lot of cats before we got to that warehouse and noticed the cats.
Right, there are
Crap.
20 in total. And so what will follow the cats is the cat ending, but then we have a whole bunch of other stuff to go through in this video. You're probably wondering how we get to what is almost a 2-hour runtime. This is effectively a supercut of all the places we zigged where we can zag. So here's the cat ending, which is effectively the joke ending, which is ironically one of the hardest endings to get.
Really? All right, then.
So we'll do our best to kind of keep up with the text, but again, this is sort of a supercut that I put together working towards the true ending, which we'll also show at the end of the video live. We'll record it, from the PS4. So basically to get the cat ending, what you have to do is in one complete run, you have to collect all 20 of the cats. And at the very end of the game, instead of confronting Reina, you just say, I'm leaving to go find Kazuki, and you sort of end up here. This dialogue is actually all the same. I can speak with some authority on this. This dialogue is effectively the same right up until it's not, and it will be obvious when it is not.
Oh, I see.
Right, so this is you deciding basically to turn your back on Reina, go find Kazuki instead. You put the mask on, and then this happens. This actually locks you out of the other Kazuki endings if you do this.
Oh my god. Okay.
If you do this, there's no way to pick not to do this.
Okay.
I actually got this on accident because I was originally planning to get the Kazuki endings right here, but I was like, wait, did I miss one of the cats? This seems like it's still the Kazuki endings. And then it became painfully obvious that I did it right. This is your Shiba ending, your UFO ending, but again, ironically, the hardest to get. There's no way to get this early. It's actually you
have to get the cats.
You have to get all the cats.
Which is, you pretty much have to go through all the game.
They're very missable. There are some that are
Yes.
effectively in cutscenes.
Sure, yeah. If you step out of frame, it's done.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, I like the font. As soon as I put my hand on the door, I touched it, someone or something wanted me to stay away from it and dragged me somewhere else. In the last few weeks, I'd seen memories that weren't my own, talked to the dead, gone to places that can't exist. I was ready for anything. Oh, indeed.
I was not ready for anything.
Okay, this is so cool.
This is when I realized
it.
I was like, wait a minute.
Okay.
I think I did it.
You gotta be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, Lady Fluffington talks. She's not kidding.
This was the hesitation when I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think
is this an actual thing?
I guess I got them all.
Having stare off. Oh, good. Now you can talk. Ooh, I like this music too. What is this? This is great.
I think this gets used again in a different ending.
What do you mean? I could always talk. Reina trying to get me lost again? No, it's exactly the opposite of what we want. I think Lady Fluffington would be British. Let me go. Kazuki was so close, I could feel him. I'm afraid I can't do that. The man you know is Kazuki Tanaka has been gone a long time. You're just saying that because you didn't like him. You always scratch him and I'm talking to my cat? Most people would be grateful for the chance.
I like your Lady Fluffington.
Thanks. Sorry, but can you blame me? You should be thanking me for bringing you here. Which is where exactly? It's not the door, is it? No. That place isn't meant for your kind. Interesting. My kind? You mean humans? Exactly. You would have destroyed yourself by entering it. I saved you. Welcome to Nekogami's Shrine, place for lost cats. You are welcome here. Huh? Wait, shrine for lost cats? Is that so surprising? We've watched over your kind for generations, of course. They used to worship us in ancient Egypt. Worship. Yet when I used to meow the one called Tanaka, he ignored me. Oh yeah, it's not good. He did not treat me with the reverence our noble kind deserves. You used to scratch the living hell out of him. For his insolence! Okay, I'm not doing her laugh.
Yeah. Haha.
Worry not, you're safe here. But I didn't want this. Are you so sure? Instead of seeking the truth, you sought distraction. We're not so different, you and I. You too cannot resist the allure of Maneki Neko. That said, you went to quite some lengths to find them all. But they were for you. They're your favorite, right? Yes, they bring me great pleasure. Did you not find it strange that you kept coming across them? Only you left them for me to find, didn't you? Every day I saw you suffer through so much pain, so much sorrow. You didn't want that. You wanted a distraction. So I gave you a way out. A distraction? I can't deny that finding them gave me something to think about other than Kazuki and Reina, but... Don't worry. It's our duty to protect those who are lost and alone. However, finding the Maneki Neko would not have been enough to offer you safe haven. But you, Ayami Ito, you proved yourself worthy. Prove myself how exactly? Oh my. That scared me. I was informed by an associate of your good deeds. You saved him and his brothers from their servitude, delivering them into the loving embrace of the woman with the colorful arms. Servitude? You mean Sachiko's cat cafe? I guess her idea of cat care was a little new age.
So you can't sell them out to get this ending.
Aha. But nothing. We are meant to be revered and petted and loved. Not paraded around for the public's amusement and the human's profit. I guess Kasumi went and shut the place down after all. The cats in the cafe are safe? Thank goodness. I feel a little tired all of a sudden. Come, have a seat. But I think I will sit. All this time, I've been using up the last of my energy trying to find Kazuki. Yes, rest, Ayami. It's been so long since you've let yourself rest. That's true. Wasn't I looking for someone? Someone long gone. Oh. It's nice down here, so peaceful. Why don't you stay a while? Stay? Yes, I think I'd like that. There's always peace and light here. Here, there's no reason to be afraid. Are you sure there's nothing I've forgotten? Nothing important. Now, sleep. Sleep and forget the world above, my sweet Ayami.
So that is the cat ending.
All right.
Fortunately, I've cut out the credits for these. I've included these at the end. They're a little tiny bit different. Again, if you want to... Anything I button through in this video, feel free to just pause and read each piece of dialogue for it. This is kind of when I realized, like, oh, they are a little bit different.
A little bit different, yeah.
That's actually part of the issue with following different paths in this game is, like, there's 2 lines of dialogue that are different, and then the rest of it is exactly the same. And I'll point them out when we get there.
Seems a little...
It's not worth...
too much, yeah.
Right.
To go through for 2 extra lines of dialogue.
In going through and making this supercut, there's actually... this is actually the first one. When I was in editing, I realized that this dialogue is different the first time you meet the old woman. She sort of closes the loop on why she gives you the mask in such a weird way. Because she knows you must take it as part of the timeline.
Sure.
So again, just buttoning through this dialogue. The dialogue is basically like, you have to take this mask. You're going to take this mask. Here you go.
There's nothing you can do to not take this
There's
mask.
nothing you can do to not take this mask. So this dialogue is different on New Game Plus.
Okay.
And there's also some differences. I finally figured out what's new for Remembrance. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it's not that exciting. And I'll point it out here. So do you notice there's fossils now in the left side of the screen? Right there.
Okay.
These are brand new for Remembrance, and they effectively go over how they first met, but they don't really close the book on it at all. Like, that's how I knew they were new, because obviously you get the new art.
Oh, cute.
And effectively, it's them bonding over the fact that he likes fossils.
Forensics.
I don't...
Who knows?
Right, there's this tree or whatever
Detective
that they go to, and they work together to find these fossils, and he basically discovers his own fossil, and so there's
He's a nerd.
to my knowledge, there's only 3 of these, 2 fossils and a coupon that end in these special scenes with new art that sort of flesh out their relationship a little bit more. But again, they don't amount to anything. To my knowledge, I could be wrong because there's just very little information on the differences between Remembrance and the base game for PC. I don't think there's any ending that brings these things together. There might be more added to other endings, which we'll get to. Trust me, we'll get to those.
Okay.
But yeah, this is where they find the first fossil, and
they meet.
They meet. He's slightly more unkempt, and her hair is slightly longer.
Yeah. So I guess they kind of look younger, quote unquote.
Right. They find his secret spot under this tree. Apparently, this tree grew over some fossils that were undiscovered.
Okay.
Cretaceous period, all that good stuff.
So he's such a dork for this, and she just happened to be there, too.
Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of this stuff feels very shoehorned in because there's no other dialogue in the game that references that he's a fossil nut.
Yeah. Well, there's really no, like, prequel.
Here's the second one.
Okay. Prequel anything with their relationship either, so you are wondering at some point, like, how are they working together and dating and stuff? Like, how does that work?
Right. This kind of goes into that a little bit more. You pick up this one when you first... this is actually much later in the game when you get the picture of Reina, and you basically track it back to that hotel that she... Or whatever, the place... The cot that she was...
Sure.
Whatever you want to call that.
The agency that was defunct. Yeah.
But I was really trying to figure out if there was anything new that, like, where this was going.
It's just backstory.
It's just backstory, yeah. And it makes it even stranger that it's not in the main game because it doesn't matter enough for it to be, like...
There's this whole extra, like, piece to
the puzzle that really doesn't go anywhere. There's an ending that we'll explore that I feel like if this was in the base game would be the requirements to get the ending where you save him.
Okay.
But that happens anyway. It has nothing to do with these fossils.
Right. It's kind of disappointment to hear.
Yeah, they feel like I needed to add something to Remembrance to put it out.
Or maybe I have this art and this backstory, so let's throw it in here.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's real.
So, again, you're basically just like, like, they talk about him loving fossils and this weird tree, and they're both weird, and she's awkward, and he's a nerd, and a song as old as time.
Beauty and the fossil.
Right. And inexplicably, he is, like, able to be like, you're so pretty. And she's like, I would have been so pissed if anybody else said it, but you say it, and now I'm, like, way into it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
If anyone else had called me pretty that day, I might have punched him. Then he said it didn't feel malicious, you know. So that's effectively what we have going on here.
It's a weird way of hitting on someone, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I enjoyed that.
As
a woman.
It's strange. It's not, again, it doesn't make it, it makes perfect sense now.
Like,
it just,
okay.
It feels like something. And then this is the last one that happens just shortly after. I think you also...
A coupon, though? It's not even, like, another fossil?
Right. Now that I'm thinking, I think there's one more thing that's new, too. You see, like, your badge or membership badge? We'll get there.
Sure.
So this is them going to the ramen shop together. Really hot summer day. Outside, thousands of cicadas making a racket. Like he was still, again, this is a weird localization thing. He was still Mr. Tanaka.
Yeah.
Probably would just be Tanaka-san.
Yeah.
Even
she's still trying to be formal is what she's getting at.
Right, right.
She's like, this isn't really a date. Kind of a date.
Yeah. Also, I think one thing that makes me think that these are not in the base game is they feel like they're edited a little bit strangely. Like there's a lot more text per page than there normally is.
Yeah. It's kind of like a big paragraph.
So anyway, this video is basically divided up into effectively 5 parts. The first part, of course, being all the cat stuff. If that's all you were here for, you got your cat stuff. There's the locations. There's the cat ending.
Woot.
If you're still here, awesome. These are the differences that are in New Game Plus and Remembrance. A lot of them are just characters acknowledging that you're stuck in a loop. It's funny because we were making a lot of Steins Gate jokes throughout this game.
Yep.
But it's clear that the creator is taking a lot of strong inspiration there.
Well, I made some DDLC jokes too. And they actually both came out around the very same time. Literally like a month apart. So that's really crazy too.
Right.
There's some clear like influences either way, regardless of who started what first, which is really interesting.
Right. So this dialogue here is the collector basically like it's interesting the way they sort of change the dialogue, because on both sides of it it's exactly the same. She like forgets that she had a different conversation with him, and that's sort of how they acknowledge it. But this is different.
Okay.
Yeah, he, remember the conversation, which I call you the collector. Yeah, this is all sort of a repeat on that loop.
Sure.
So what I'm saying is most of this super cut that I've made is effectively that part in Steins Gate where Mayuri gets hit by a train or a bus or dies of a heart attack or gets hit with a baseball bat or chokes on a ham sandwich. That's effectively what this amounts to. So we'll see all of the good, bad, and everywhere in between endings.
So you're literally just doing things different ways to try and get the same result or the best result.
Right, trying to get away from the mask, trying to beat the mask.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very time loopy.
Time loopy, right. And instead of going backwards in time, it feels like this game leans on the age-old. It's not really a myth, but it's more like a methodology for Japanese folklore, and that you're constantly stuck on a loop. Like time isn't really linear, it's circular. And that's sort of what the collector and the historian are referencing at the end of the game when you get a good ending, a bad ending, or anything that's not the true ending.
That it'll just keep going back around again.
Right, which again, the true ending I've not seen yet. As of this part of the video, I basically just got us all the way up to that, and then we'll see that all firsthand live.
Action. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it live.
Yeah.
The game actually doesn't force you to get all of the bad endings to unlock the ability to get the true ending.
That's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice, but I actually feel like I wish it did. And I wish on the true ending run a lot more things were different. Because I noticed a lot of people when I was looking up guides for this game were basically saying like the true ending feels like the antithesis of her character motivation.
Okay.
And once we get through all of the endings, it will feel a lot more desperate. Like sort of like how Kiyoma is like, oh, this is how it has to be.
Yes. No matter what I do, this is, yep.
And that's literally kind of what she's talking about here.
The Groundhog's Day dilemma, basically.
Right. Yeah. It's what she's talking about here with the collector. It's just like, I've met another you. I literally can't get out of this loop. Like hatred consumed her. Like there are some fun endings. There are some endings that are staggeringly sad. All things considered, we actually, in my opinion, had the best possible, quote, bad ending or false ending that we could have had.
Yeah, just organically going through it without looking anything up, making our own decisions based on what we intuitively would do.
Right. So this conversation here is when you're taking Mai out of the village. You basically tell her to wait outside this time because you remember for some reason that complicates this exchange.
With her grandma.
Right, and so this, this effectively goes a little bit more smoothly because you're like, why does the mask know me?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So that's what's kind of going on here.
Is the conversation just as long?
No.
Yeah, because that was such a long conversation between them, and I was like, lady, just tell us what you need to tell us.
It's much faster, and I will say one frustrating thing about this whole process is it doesn't do the thing that, like, games like 999 and from what I understand, Virtue's Last Reward does something very similar where it knows it literally saves when you see dialogue, and so it'll tell you exactly when it's not new.
Sure.
This game sort of intuits which dialogue you probably already have seen.
Yeah, and then gives you the option.
To skip it. So there's actually a part in this video where I realized, leading up to the cat ending, when you... and we'll see most of that conversation here. When you choose not to force her to sign the contract, one of the cats becomes a stowaway with you and comes back with you. And I gather what happens behind the scenes is the cats negotiate a truce with Kasumi.
Okay.
But that dialogue, the game assumes you probably saved the cats on your first run and is skippable. Which I didn't realize at the time. I thought it was exactly the same, and then I was like, oh, wait, it's different. So it kind of just assumes...
that you made certain choices previously?
That the game basically assumes that you always were nice, and all of the nice dialogue is skippable, and all of the mean dialogue is not, which I find very strange. It just assumes that it's new.
Interesting.
Which really made it fun, scrolling through the game... effectively 3 full times to try to see what's new and what's different.
Yeah.
This conversation very much mirrors what the collector said. It just the historian's a little more invested in you donning the mask, and the collector's a little bit more interested
seeing
in just
what happens.
Right, just seeing what happens.
I think the collector is more of like a shadow entity, and he, as the historian, is more of like a lighter entity that is there to watch humanity. And the collector's just watching all the collective like events going on around everything.
Right. We'll see in one of the endings, he sort of like you could intuit if you were deep into like Japanese mythology who he is. He sort of alludes based on some things that he does in an ending to keep the cycle going.
Yeah.
Who he is, we'll get there.
Sure.
But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So anyway, like I said, this video is divided up into 5 pieces. The cat stuff, the New Game Plus stuff, choices that we didn't make that I thought were funny or weird or both.
Yeah. And then good and bad endings for
the good and bad endings
characters.
For Miho, the warehouse worker, and Daizo.
Okay.
We got both of those. So on our last video, people who have played this game before are probably like, they didn't talk to any of them. They didn't talk to any of them.
I didn't really think that anything new would come up.
Right.
Because it seemed...
kind
of just seemed like we were done there. Or when we went back inside at other random times, there wasn't much new going on. Mm-hmm. Everything kind of just seemed final. Like, okay.
Right. But, like, again, what there needed to be a one line of dialogue from Ito that said, I should check in on them.
Yeah, to, like, make the player be like...
Persona style, like, right before... Like, at the end of a Persona game, you get to check in with your social links. That's sort of what they're going for there.
Right.
This choice basically, effectively, is like, do you want to continue to the true ending, or do you want to stop remembering what's supposed to happen? But that doesn't actually lock you into the true ending, as we'll find out later. Mm-hmm. So the good and bad endings for the 3 side characters, and then all of the endings with the exception of the she's just a child ending, because that was the ending we got.
I already did that.
And then obviously we'll do the true ending live, probably not as a separate video. I mean, if you're here, you want to see how it all goes down, I would assume. But yeah, I think this is the this is the last of the Remembrance items that are different.
Why just 4? It just seems like a weird number. 4.
Technically, it's 5
Well, I
because
guess-
after you do this, you look at a picture on the wall, which I gather is new.
Okay. I was gonna say 4 is like the death number, isn't it? So
Right.
that's weird.
That would be way better if there were 4.
I guess, yeah.
If there were 4 items.
That's why I thought it was 4, and now you just said it's 5. So
All right. I like your connection better. We'll just assume that the picture is part of the detective badge because you literally look at the picture right after you finish with the
okay.
commendation badge.
oh, look how cute they are. She's actually smiling.
We get a lot more good stuff with Tyra coming up.
Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Kind of nervous now.
Right. I hopefully I didn't button through it too fast
fast.
for when she takes him hostage.
Yeah.
That part's really funny. And it also just locks you straight into like bad endings.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure.
like we were like, I wonder what happens if you take him hostage. That's probably bad. And it's like, no, that's
bad.
That's bad. You shouldn't do that.
It's definitely you completely losing your collective marbles
Right.
because of the mask and blah blah blah.
We'll see in the segment coming up, but there's a lot of choices that we made that I assumed were the only choice, and they're not.
Oh.
There's effectively a gunless way to do everything.
I figured there was. It just felt like the game was strong arming you into being rash like that to send a message.
Right, you actually don't have to.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in the game where you need to gun.
Yeah.
And I figured that out firsthand. Okay, and also I guess these are technically new too. These give you a little bit of insight into the cult's motivations, which is extra weird that they just weren't there. Like, if you were going to bother to add
Initially running
these,
through.
like,
Oh my. Okay.
why
Don't like that noise.
why wouldn't you put them in? Like, this is the symbol of the cult, and you can probably... I don't know if this is, like, a real symbol. Like, here's a knife as well that you
Oh.
get to look at.
How do you get these?
They're just there now.
Oh, through New Game Plus.
Through New Game Plus, they're
If
just
you go back here, they're there.
they're just on the ground.
Okay. Well, I guess that's the plus part of New Game Plus is there's some extra little sprinkles.
But they don't really flesh much out, which makes me
Right.
wonder why they just weren't there.
Right.
You know, they sort of add to the mystery.
Like, what's the point of New Game Plus if they're just kind of benign?
They're kind of benign, but what they're trying to tell you, in piecing this whole puzzle together, that the ritual they do with the mask is required for the greater good of humanity.
True.
And we'll see what they'll build upon that in one of the endings as well.
All right,
So-
choices we didn't make.
Choices we didn't make. At the very beginning of the game, you actually, to get the good ending with the warehouse worker, have to go see him instead of shoot the lock on the dumpster
I
open.
feel like that's what we did. And then he was just like, there's something going on out there. And then he was like, I gotta go back to work. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, so he'll give you a key here. Dumpster key, yeah.
All right.
So then with a dumpster key, you can just unlock it.
Sure.
It's weirdly stringent what you have to do to get his good ending. You have to unlock the dumpster. You can't be drinking. The game, I feel like the dev has something to say about drinking.
Well, I mean,
because
drinking on the job is like universally not okay.
it must be extra bad in Japan or something. I didn't think the one shot, maybe that speaks volumes about me, but I didn't think the one shot of whiskey to like get the bartender talking
Sure.
was that big of a deal, but that gives a bad ending to him as well.
Yeah.
Because he sees that and is like, oh, it's
Like the
the cops are
influence. Yeah.
the cops are corrupt or whatever. Like
Sure.
you're cool, but like you're just like the rest of them.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
That was us threatening Gato at the very beginning. This is me not using the rope, which I thought was hilarious that you can just do that
fall.
and fall.
Oh my god.
It does not kill you.
Right.
You can just jump without his dumb rope.
Okay. Wouldn't you like break your neck though?
These
I
are
don't
the,
know.
this is
Logically.
the save point system. This shows how much damage you take when you fall. You take, 10 sanity and -5 investigation.
All right.
This is circling back for the cherry blossom instead
Yeah.
of shooting the bamboo.
Sure. Okay.
You can just use that instead of gun.
Instead of gun.
I will say, I really don't actually think there's a way to give up your gun for all the allusions
Right.
they make to that.
Yeah. Which is hilarious in a weird way.
So this is how you're actually supposed to do...
Yeah.
Right. This is how you're actually supposed to do this the right way. I think we tried to do this, but you have to do it in a very specific order. We hit the alarm and then tried to get the hairpin.
Yeah.
You can't do that,
You
which
have
I
to get
think
it
is...
first.
You have to get it first,
Okay.
which I thought was very strange,
Mm-hmm.
very peculiar.
Maybe it locks you out. Like,
Yeah, automatically locks all the doors. That's
hey,
what you
I don't
want.
know, man.
That's what you
You're
want an
in a
alarm to
police
do.
station, so
And so then you get in here.
okay. So
No
you're
guns fired. You're good to go.
damn.
This is what happens if you just want to get in there right
You
now.
just strong arm it.
Oh yeah. These we
Knock
were
out more.
sort of hypothesizing in our playthrough, like why the cops don't come after you.
Yeah.
Stay tuned on that one.
Okay.
So if you do enough stuff to get the cops pissed, you will
Is that
get
a
your
bad ending?
You will get your just desserts on that one.
Okay. I mean, as it should be. It wouldn't make any sense if you were, completely rotten and nothing happened.
So this is what you do to get her bad ending. You basically tell her that she's worthless. A lot of the bad ending stuff is just hella mean. You're literally just like it's you're actually the bad person here. No one cares that you're a hostess. You're just mean. It's like, no, Ito, you're kind of being a
Yeah,
jerk
you're
right now.
kind of being mean, non-supportive female.
Right.
Wow.
We were originally in our playthrough. If we had checked in with her, we would have gotten her good ending.
Probably.
We would have
yes.
gotten the warehouse worker's bad ending. And we would have gotten Daizo's bad ending.
Yeah.
Stay tuned on this one.
Does that have to do with like talking to his brother and stuff?
No, it's
Okay.
it's entirely based on this decision whether or not to try something different or not to give up. So this is the good ending thing to do, which
Okay.
we didn't do originally. We
Sure.
told him to try something else, which he takes very harshly.
Us saying you should maybe try something else since it doesn't seem like you're happy here?
Right.
Oh, okay.
You'll see. I left that one piece of dialogue in there because she basically says, "Oh, the detectives thought to hang up rope. That seems smart. I wish I had thought to do that." Here's some fun dialogue with the
the
maid
maid cafe.
about showing your badge when you forget that you don't have it, and she's like, "Meowster, you got to show your badge." Like, you're not a real... Well, let's just pretend I didn't notice that you're like a guy running around with a gun but no
Sure.
badge.
Wow, she does get really mean.
Yeah. If you basically tell Mina to shove it, I'm not getting you your plushie, you just yell at her for a little while.
Oh no. Oh, poor girl.
It's really good. And then eventually the dialogue becomes effectively the same. Except for one thing that the lead maid says at the very end, which I'll point out. But she basically is like, "Hey, Meowster, we have people that we normally call to escort people like you out. Don't make me call them."
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we sometimes have people to escort people like you out.
Yikes. Oh,
This
no more
is-
nyan nyan cakes for us.
This is what happens when you go deal with Gato for the two girls at the arcade. This is the threatening one. This is sort of the middle of the road where you basically are like, "Hey, do you think I really killed my partner? Do you
Right.
want to find out?"
Yeah, okay.
This works a little bit better than just good copping him.
Sure.
But I actually think the other option coming up is the most fun, but also does not... Wicked delights have wicked ends for what's coming up here. Let's just, get through all this. Yeah, she doesn't like him, threaten him, all that stuff.
Sure.
He gets it, yeah. This is plenty. This takes care... What if you just shot him instead? When we were here, I didn't think you would really actually shoot him.
Yeah.
You really actually shoot him.
Wow, okay. I'd made sure he'd never hurt anyone again. Oh, wow. Okay, right between the eyes. Mm-hmm. Throw the body into the well.
And then you get this face and this laugh coming up that I love.
Very good.
You get that great little laugh that I don't...
Very good little witchy laugh.
Okay, I'll try my best to keep up with me buttoning through this. Mm-hmm. Hey, stop! What the hell do you think you're doing?
Stay where you are, Taira. You too, Saki.
Shit, you really are as crazy as they say, you know that? If you think I'll keep this quiet, you're wrong.
Shut up, Taira. Saki, I need you to do exactly as I say. Sure, Ito, whatever you say. Go and look up a file for me. What file? On March 4th, 1996, there was a raid on a compound belonging to a cult called the Kaminkai. I need a copy of the police report and anything else on record. It's gonna take me a little while to run the search, so don't do anything rash, Ito.
Hell, you're serious, aren't you? Maybe you should put down the gun and we can talk about it? Two adults, like detective to detective?
Guess you don't see me as a detective until a gun's to your head, huh? You always were lousy at dealing with people, Taira. March 4th, 1996, I found it, but I can't protect you this time, Ayami. There's no way I can look the other way about this. You know that, don't you? I know. Copy that report onto USB and place it on the counter. Taira, get down on your knees. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you if you stay put. No sudden movements.
God.
Don't try anything. Trust me, I know all the tricks a lot better than you do. Yeah, her eyes are great. I'm going to grab the USB off the counter. Don't come after me, Taira.
Ito, you stormed to a police station, held a detective and staff member hostage, and stole files. Exactly what do you expect here? I won't come after you now, but sometimes the cops will catch up to you, like someday soon.
Taira's right, of course. I'll be a fugitive before long. I enjoyed that exchange. It was fun.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It locks you into a bad ending. There's
I'm
no
sure.
There's no way out
like
at this
literally
point.
on the lam.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody saw it. She got the crazy eyes. She should just walk around with those eyes the entire time now.
This I didn't figure out until midway through my third playthrough.
Okay.
Buttoning through everything. Mm-hmm. I finally figured out how to get past this guy without hitting him.
Finally, after 3 times.
You show him the dead bird that you find.
Oh, but you could pick it up in the basic game.
I told you about how I don't like the blood and blood's not really my thing. You see, the germs and
his eyeballs.
Okay, I am dizzy. I'm a little dizzy. Just going to all right.
Faint. Oh my.
And then you get this art.
Ew. Oh dear, did he just faint? Sure looks like it. He'll be fine. Let's get a move on. Alright.
So that's a fun little exchange.
Just wave a dead, bleeding crow in your face.
Here's the side quest. Good endings.
Here we go.
This effectively comes down to Miho getting out of the business.
Okay.
At the behest of what you say.
Interesting, because you told someone else to get out of their business, and like just as a friendly suggestion, they took it the completely opposite way.
Oh yeah, you were about to see what happens there.
Don't say that.
Yeah, so this is about as good as it can go for her. Mm-hmm. You're like sort of friends.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she at this point probably has never had any role models in her life, so it's like you're probably solid enough for her to take advice from.
Right. And so this is the ending we would have gotten if we talked to her on our first run. So
also, women gotta support other women.
True.
Like,
support the women's.
Yeah, support the women's, especially women on women. I do like this backtrack. It's very interesting.
This game, again, and playing through the game 3 full times.
Yeah.
This game actually has a great soundtrack.
Yeah, I like all the music that happens.
There's not a bad track on it, and I find that very rare.
Except for the Cat Cafe.
The Cat Cafe is the best track. So this is his good ending. This is not the one.
Oh, he looks so cute.
This is not the one we were going to get.
A little octopus on his shirt.
Ironically, telling him not to give up is better for some reason.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe he was just like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to be here anymore.
Right, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm done.
Interesting. Definitely is like some kind of messaging about how people's reactions to things.
Right, you basically
perceptions.
you effectively are telling them the same thing, but just the way they intuit it is completely the opposite.
You can never know sometimes.
Yeah.
It's interesting people study. Right?
Yeah, so he's gonna go join them, join the takoyaki stand.
Brothers together.
Yep.
That's good.
He's gonna go join his brother, so he figures he's gonna just go do that and close down. He's gonna go be with his family. Everything is awesome.
He has a nice little smile, so
Yeah.
he's
Stay
happy.
tuned.
Stop saying that.
I was shocked at how like one line of dialogue
Yeah.
completely changes this man's
it.
life.
Yeah.
Fate.
Yo, we gotta go get some octopus balls.
Okay, so this is not the ending we would have gotten for the warehouse worker.
Sure.
So like I
because
said,
we took a shot of whiskey in the very beginning of the game.
can't do a shot of whiskey, can't shoot the dumpster,
Sure.
can't be on the run from the cops,
No.
which I found out on my second playthrough. I thought I did everything right to get his good ending, and
But
then
you're
he was
actually,
like, the cops came here looking for you, dude.
Damn.
So, yeah, you basically have to be a model detective for him, and then he looks at you like a role model,
Sure.
and this is his good ending.
Yeah. Oh, he's sweet. Yay! It's exactly the same. Yeah, I agree. Oh,
Yeah, this guy's helping the police, which is a good thing
Sure.
in this reality.
respectable and whatever.
Yep.
Cha.
A couple of other interesting things you can do. You can actually put the blood-filled bag that you get at the beginning of the game off to the side for forensics to find. That gives
Oh.
you bonus investigation points. And if you drink the sake meant for
For
Tyra, the guy basically just tells you you're a disappointment to life. He's like, I already didn't like you, and now I'm
Yeah, and
sure
you
that I
just
hate
suck.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh no. She's gonna get mean.
She's gonna get mean.
No.
Yeah.
That stinks.
Yeah. I don't see. Here's another thing this game does that I actually don't know too. I don't know if this would be ever so slightly different if I was not on a violent path when I talked to her this time. There's basically two tracks that Ito can be on throughout the whole game:
Sure.
a violent or professional one.
Yeah.
And some characters react to that and some don't, and it's hard to know if like those two lines of dialogue, like, hey, I've read about you, what you've been doing, if that would be different
Yeah.
or not.
Her name's not even Miho here though, so it's just hostess.
Just hostess, right?
Yeah.
I don't even think you know her name because you said you didn't care
You're
about
just
her.
like, fuck you, yeah.
Right.
Oh.
That's a nice. I didn't even notice that. That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
You don't know her name.
Yep.
So if she decides to join up with the Yakuza,
Kasumi.
yeah.
It's probably not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea, but she doesn't really super
Care at this point 'cause she's kind
Yeah.
of desperate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I see that the Yakuza's like inherited leader's name is Kasumi, I just think of Kasumi.
You
from
always
Bang
think
Theory.
of, oh yeah, I do the
can't
exact
help
same
it.
thing.
I mean-
It's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Especially
It's
because,
like, Doki Doki Kira Kira, like, welcome to my club.
right, because I think of the cat cafe owner too, because she kind of has the Kasumi bumps too.
Yeah.
Which, like, those two things together
Yep.
mess me up every time. This is Daizo's bad ending.
Oh. Oh no. I don't think he's sleeping.
Daizo is definitely sleeping on the job.
Forever on the job.
Yeah.
And never.
Yeah.
And nobody came by
Yep. He's just
except for
been.
her. That's messed up. Oh,
Yeah, he's
poor baby.
Daizo doesn't make it if you tell him to try something else. He's
Sure.
like, I got something else to try.
Oh,
giving
no.
up.
So if we had walked in, that's what it would have been.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
On our playthrough,
Oh, no.
if we had come to see
I'm actually
Daizo,
kind of glad that we didn't, because that would make me so sad.
he'd be dead on the
I would
counter.
be like, I don't want to play anymore for like 5 minutes. Gotta go pour one out for Daizo.
Yeah, we get to read a suicide note real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I tried.
Oh no.
Summing up my life, that's all I have to show for it. I tried.
No.
For years, I pursued a passion, opened a business, I got married. I did everything people say you're supposed to do to be happy. Still, my passion failed, my business failed, my marriage failed. Everything I was given to be happy, I wasted, so I guess the problem is with me.
No.
I'm sorry for the burden that this will put on my wife and my daughter. I doubt my girl remembers me, but I'm sorry I couldn't be a father to her. Know that your father tried. Goodbye.
Oh my.
And then we put the note back, and we bail.
Who did he expect to read it? I wondered. Wow, that's
Right.
cold.
Yeah.
That mask is really doing a number on your psyche at this point.
It sure is.
Dude, maybe call his brother? I guess the police will call next of kin anyway. Well, hopefully he's not through the door. What a terrible place to be.
Yeah. And then this is the
His
dock
bad
worker.
ending.
Yep.
Okay. Sadness. Oh.
And again, I bet this dialogue will be a little bit different because, like, on this playthrough, I thought I was gonna get the good ending for him, so I didn't drink and I didn't use my gun on the dumpster. But he's still like, "Hey,
Yeah.
did you murder a man and throw him down the well out back?" Like,
Yeah.
no. And I definitely ran with that as my decision for the second
No.
playthrough.
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious. And you need to have a certain amount of sanity when you go into the suicide forest to get a special ending,
Sure.
which we will see. It's a good
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
It's sort of a shame that I feel like most people who play this game will probably only get one ending and then the true ending, which is kind of my point, because a lot of work went into these other endings. Like, some of them go on.
Yeah.
Like, you're probably realizing we're only halfway through the video, and we're now
Still
on to endings. So, Ito, take it away.
lost.
The best you can. I kind of buttoned through this. You have to take 10 pills.
Oh my god.
So we'll wait. I kind of buttoned through the pill taking. They're all very sad. She starts saying increasingly more sad things as you take more pills.
I think I took 2 max.
You took
just
2?
To, like, balance some stuff, and then we're like, all right, we're good to go.
Yeah, I'll let you voice what she says once we
Sure.
get to the 10th pill.
Oh, no. 3,
This ending's very sad.
4.
It's a bummer.
Oh no.
You can get this very early on in the game, which
Yeah.
is actually a decision that I
5.
don't like, because this gives you New Game Plus and save slots
Sure.
if you do
Yeah.
this right away, which is
6.
sort of frustrating.
Yeah, if you just like stumble on that, and you're just like, wait, I didn't even play the game, but now I have save slots
Right.
when I didn't before.
It doesn't feel like the first thing you're supposed to do, so
Yeah.
it's strange that it gives you New Game Plus at all. But it be do.
We're on like 9.
And I think this one is going to be number 10.
I don't know how she's awake right now. Yeah, seriously. Like, girl?
頭がぼんやりする
I couldn't do it alone anymore. Kazuki, I'm coming to see you. Okay, here's 10, maybe.
Yeah, this is 10.
I lost count.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is 10.
yeah.
Cat nonplussed by the whole affair.
Sure, yeah, as a cat would be.
Cat's like, she's at it again.
I was just about to ask about Yumi.
Yeah.
Did we find anything else more about her?
Yep.
Okay.
She basically comes to
God.
check on you.
Yep.
And you're down.
Are we gonna go into weird Alice in Wonderland world?
Not yet.
Oh,
That's coming up.
okay.
So.
You have a very nice neighbor for checking on you. No, no.
This really bummed me out, and I was just doing it alone by myself,
Oh,
just
no.
like capturing all these. I was like, okay, damn.
Oh, God.
All right.
Oh, my.
Hey, achievement unlocked. You're dead.
Mrs. Fluff.
You're
Come
dead.
on, Mrs. Fluff.
Okay.
Kitty. Oh, that was it.
Yep, that's the worst ending you can get.
Sure.
So this
Wow.
next ending we'll try to voice the best we can. I hope I didn't button through it too fast, because it's a good one.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot my Yumi voice.
That's fine.
I didn't know it was just Yumi. I thought you made it sound like Ito was gonna say a bunch of
Oh no,
weird
she's
garbled
just
shit.
she's just dead.
Yeah, she passed out.
But have a crazy voice planned for Ito. You're gonna get to use it in a sec here.
Okay. She could like come floating in like a ghost and interrupt their conversation.
It's gonna be something special.
Oh, their conversation at the end here is so long.
Yeah. Especially because it knows you probably have already seen it once.
Yeah, there's probably like 2 different lines.
So this is
Insane ending.
failing the suicide forest. You literally just don't have enough sanity to embrace the last thing that happens.
I see. Oh no, you're like negative 100.
Negative 100, yeah.
Good God. Oh. Very good.
This one goes on for a little bit.
Okay.
I was kind of thinking that was going to be it and we were just going to get credits, but no.
No. When did I... Reina? Impossible. Can't be.
That was Ruby with her new hit song, Look For Me.
No, that's wrong. Hello, Ayami. You're looking well today. Have you eaten? No. You always bring me food these days, neighbor. It's been a big help. Neighbor? Oh, you mean because I'm downstairs? Well, I suppose that makes us neighbors, doesn't it? Looking after you is my job, after all. I'll go whip something up. Yumi, do you know of a pop star called Ruby? Ruby? Ayami, you know we can't talk about her or that police detective. Not after what happened. After what happened? What are you talking about? I don't remember.
Will be making an appearance after the show for her fans in Shinjuku.
Good announcer voice.
Thank you.
Hmm? Sorry, I'm just
Are you
trying-
raining or I told you
no,
before,
I was-
just Tanaka is fine, and
Okay.
it's no problem at all. Actually, it's been kind of exciting. Figure I should make the most out of this assignment. Plus, it's not all bad being attached at the hip to such a beauty.
Oh my. Hey, don't tease me.
Come on, let's get out of here. This place gives me the creeps. Nothing good ever happens in this part of town.
Do you think the big, brave Tanaka would get freaked out by a little back alley? Besides, you're being dramatic. It's not so bad. In fact, I think my first manager's apartment was around here somewhere. Being here again, it's kind of nostalgic. Reminds me of simpler times. Things were so different when my biggest concern was booking the next gig. Now look at me, hiding out with the police. I must sound like I'm ungrateful.
Sounds pretty normal to me. Hey, I think I heard someone. We better get going.
You have to remember, this is my first time watching this, so I'm trying to get context here.
There's not a lot
There
of
is any context.
Police have issued a statement yet concerning the alleged affair between Pop Idol. Her managers have yet to comment, but photographers have...
No. They're lying. Never do that. Not with her. It's okay, Kazuki. Those idiots on the TV don't know the real you. Not like me. See? I'm a good detective just like you. I'll find you and save you from her. And once I rescue you, we'll be together. Forever. Nothing will break us apart. Hold on, Kazuki. I know it's hard, but everything will be better soon. Thanks for meeting me here. this all got a little out of hand. Plus, I think we need to talk.
Doesn't matter now. It's all gone to shit. They pushed me down to a desk job. I got kicked out of my house.
Kazuki. That girl over there, is she pressed? Why won't you leave us alone?
Reina, there's no need for that. We're just talking, right?
Get away from her. Tanaka, tell her to go away. Tanaka! Kazuki, it's okay. You're trapped here because of that girl. It's her fault. Don't worry. We're partners, remember? I'll save you. It's the only way.
Hey, there's no need for that. Why don't you give that gun to me and then we can talk?
Shh. Kazuki, I have to save you. Can't you see that?
Save me. Wow.
From her. From that horrible girl. They said terrible things about you, but they're lies. All lies. You never do something like that to betray me. What did she do to you?
Who are you? I don't know you. And who are you talking about? Reina? Listen, what I do on my own is my own business. What is this all about? Are you one of her fans or something? Wait. Oh, you're her, aren't you? You're the stalker.
No. Shut up, Kazuki. Kazuki. I love you. Oh. I can't talk about her or Tanaka anymore, remember? Doctor's orders. Yumi, why would you say that? He's my partner. This fantasy of being a detective won't get any better if you keep indulging it. Besides, it's better this way, neighbor. You are always coming back so late. Stopping around and singing all the time. Sorry, Yumi. I can't help it. It's my job. Ayami, I know it's hard, but it's not real. Medication will help. Medication? Kazuki said it would make the vision stop. Ayami, Kazuki's gone. Don't you remember? That's right. I was silly of me. He's in the dark. I have to save him. It's okay. I'm on the case. No need to worry. I'll get you something to eat. And your meds, okay? Hang tight. After all, you're my special project now, neighbor. I have to be careful. Can't let her stop the investigation. Don't worry, Kazuki. I'm coming to save you.
Okay, that is the insanity ending. That is a bad ending.
That's definitely a bad ending. You are totally... What is that? Straight-jacketed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so...
It's hard to know if that's a world line or not,
Right.
or if it's literally just the forest.
Yeah, the forest, like, weirdness.
Weirdness, yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, is Yumi your neighbor or is she actually a nurse?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a world line or not, or
Yeah.
if the Suicide Forest is like intersplicing world lines together.
Or just, like, this perception of a possible thing? I don't know. What ending is this again?
This is the ending that you get for dealing with Reina if you get to her with a violent path.
Okay.
So basically, it comes down to you saying, instead of all the nice things that we said,
Sure, like the comforting things.
the comforting things that we feel like we can get her through the door safely, we think that we can let her go to heaven or the afterlife or whatever.
Just blaming her for everything.
Right, you basically are going to throw her into the door with hatred.
Okay.
So,
Tanaka wanted to help me. He wouldn't want this. I loved him. You didn't even know who he was. You brought him here and then you abandoned him because that's all you can do. You move through whatever your existence is and leave bodies in your wake. That's mean. You don't even care, do you? No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that, Ayami. You have to listen to me. I'm sorry, Kazuki. I'm sorry I let her bring you here and I'm sorry you're alone. Ow.
yeah.
That's definitely a girl thing to do. Grab someone by the hair. You want to see that door so badly? I'll take you there myself. I'll give you the same chance you gave him. Scream. I'm sorry, you have to help me. Please, Ayami, please. I don't want to hurt anyone. Stop, please. I don't care what you want, Reina. This is what you deserve. This is all I can do to make it stop. And she's gonna toss you through that door like a football. Oh.
Yep. She begs for you not to do it, and then
Yep.
you just do it.
Anyone, please? Oh.
And we get a similar follow-up, but I think this one also has you throw the mask away, and it's fine.
Aren't you kind of describing yourself here?
Right, yeah. This is a little bit
Almost
of
introspective.
introspection going on. So sort of your actions here can be just a base reflection of how you played the game.
Sure.
Basically just either working towards trying to save her or working towards trying to destroy her. This is actually effectively your only choice if you take
a violent path.
if you take Tyra hostage. Actually,
Okay.
you have one other ending that you can get, which is actually I think the second least obtained ending, and I think I forget if that's next. It might be next. This dialogue is very similar, just to the dialogue we got in our good ending that basically just comes down to the door seemed like it ate her versus the door seemed like it accepted her.
Accepted her, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, threw it into the sea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but it came back this time.
Yeah, this time it comes back.
Yeah.
On the peaceful ending, it leaves.
Yeah. Just goes off.
But interestingly enough, it still takes him.
Yeah.
Um,
And not in a good way, though.
right, not in a good way.
Not in a, like, just forgetful way. Now he's, like, sadly gone. And you don't know why. Do these gentlemen say anything different, do you think, here?
Hatred and revenge is basically like the one line of
theme.
dialogue that's different.
Okay.
Violent ends, all that stuff.
Sure.
You used your gun a lot.
That's not good.
Right,
Probably
you
shouldn't
shouldn't-
do that.
Right, there's a lot of decisions you can make at the beginning of the game when Kazuki first dies. They ultimately are not that interesting. I didn't even bother including them. But there are 4 achievements associated with every different thing you can do.
Okay.
So this first thing I didn't realize was different at the time. This is Saki, if you do enough for her where she doesn't dislike you, she basically warns you that Tyra is on your ass.
Sure.
Like he's
Okay.
like if you go to the shrine now, he is literally going to ambush
All right.
you, which is what we
Great.
do here.
Oh.
We just literally play right into his hands. And so this one's a lot of fun. This is most people do not do this.
Do this.
Intermingling in one place. Yep. Ever since the evidence room, life spiral out of control.
Yep.
This dialogue is mostly the same.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna take a couple steps, and it's gonna be a little different.
Okay.
Yeah. Something as odd feels like you're being watched. Right.
Place is definitely foggy and ominous, for sure.
Yep.
Oh.
That's far enough, Ito.
What the hell is this, Tyra?
I gotta admit, I thought it was a little strange, the infamously prickly Detective Ito kissing my feet. Well, it was good. About time you showed me some respect. It was a little too good to be true. You always thought we were on equal footing. Maybe that's why you were such a bitch. Well, I think that'll change after today. Isn't that right, Mori?
Mori, what are you doing here?
Oh, right. Forgot to explain that part. See, it seems that Mori's been doing a lot of unsupervised overtime. What, pray tell, is the subject of the newfound devotion to work? I'll let you take that one, Mori. You, Detective Ito. So this is if you knock him out but still try to kiss Tyra's feet. So this dialogue
Okay.
actually probably has the most difference. So he knows that you steal the evidence. This is interesting.
Just watching you, basically.
Right. This is a unique bad ending because it has the most unique dialogue based around exactly what you did to get the police on you.
Interesting reveal.
Right. It's again, it's crazy because like if you look at the achievement info, only 10% of players see this ending at all. But even if you go deeper into that, there's basically like 4 different things that can be said here. Like I didn't. I went through this game enough times, but
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know what Tyra says here if you go and get this ending. Being mean to Saki, being mean to Mori, and being mean to Tyra, like, you wouldn't even get warned by Saki that they're here.
Yeah, you would just bump into them here.
So,
like, oh shit.
Right, and also I think this on this path as well. I think this is the one where I stuck with killing Gato. So they know that. Yep, they know where he is. They know where the body is. Like, basically everything is bad on this playthrough except that I didn't threaten him as a hostage on this one. Yeah, don't try to lie for everyone's sake.
Well, I gotcha.
That's the best part. I already know how this ends up, and guess what? I was right. You're just as crazy as I said. You killed Gato, and after I talked to those girls and read your report, I knew exactly where to look. Obviously.
He was preying on little girls. He said he liked them young.
Helito, if we killed every salaryman who had a hard-on for high school girls, there'd be quite the body count. Yeah. He makes an interesting point on that one.
Yeah.
You could have told me. You could have let me help. Mori's kind of your boy.
Yeah.
Mori, don't beat yourself up. She's not concerned about them. She just... again, Tyra just assumes at this point, rightfully, honestly, that you're just a loose cannon.
Yeah, he's making, like, what you did just look absolutely malicious.
Right, and then Tyra decides to pin the murder on you because he assumes that Gato maybe saw it, and that's why you really killed him.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, give Tyra any excuse and he'll run with it, obviously.
Dang, you had somebody on your side. You wouldn't fuck that up.
Right, you can't just knock people out. They don't like that.
Yeah, people
at
don't
all.
like that.
Yeah.
You can't just, like, go behind their backs either.
I don't know. I also don't know if this was the run where I actually used the dead bird. So I don't know if they would also reference knocking out the lift guy as well. But yeah, story ends here for you if you go crazy on the cops. I do like this art though.
Yeah.
This art of Tyra, like, I was right. I was so right. Stop struggling. I got you.
So what, they just take you to jail?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There's actually just, like, so much art in these, like, bad endings. Like, we're going to get even more art here, too. I just think it's crazy that...
They're also easily missable.
They're also easily missable.
If you're just like, fuck, I'm not going to play through this again to
right,
get all this.
Right.
Like...
Try to do what was right, destroy the mask, put an end to everyone's suffering. Instead, they stuff me in a jail cell. While lawyers try to discredit me, which they will do.
Yep.
For what? For Gato, that scum deserved to die. My only regret was not disposing of the body better. Those idiots, Tyra and Mori, don't understand what they've done and what's really at stake. How does one life compare to the mask? Everyone thinks I'm crazy. Sometimes I see detectives, people I used to work with, come down to the cells and look at me out of the corner of their eye, trying to catch the glimpse of the animal, or a glimpse of me like I'm an animal in the cage. We don't know who has the mask now. This is probably the second worst ending.
Mm-hmm. We should just stay in that jail cell forever.
Yeah, you're completely screwed.
Yeah.
Right, and so this is interesting because it gives you insight into what happens if you lose the mask. Something like someone else gets it and just uses it.
Yeah. It's passed on, and the cycle continues.
Right, through a lot of these endings, you kind of get one shred of what happens
outside
next.
Of you. Yeah.
Yeah. This one actually has almost no unique dialogue too. It's very strange for them, I should say. All the unique dialogue is between Mori and Tyra. So, I will say one thing I got to give this game credit for. I'll talk about it in a little bit. Okay, this stuff is all the same for every time you put on the mask. It basically says like, "I'm leaving. Bye. I'm out of here." And then she pleads with you not to go, and you go. One thing I just wanted to give this game credit for is I feel like you never have a moment in the game where it's like, I didn't do that, but the characters are talking like I did, which visual novels are guilty of that at least once, usually. This is all the dialogue that's the same as the cat ending. So,
okay.
It changes right when you touch the door. But yeah, there's really never a part where the game's logic trips over itself. It always is like, you did this or you did not do this.
Sure.
And
there's no like weird allusions to stuff that you're like, wait a minute, what?
right, for all the ways that this game comes up short in some of its interface and how you getting to the true ending and buttoning through this dialogue, is it different, is it the same? Some of it might be different because there's just little like single phrases that are just slightly different based on what decisions you made. So I got to give it credit for that.
For the nuance in that.
Yeah, that's very hard. Like, there are big budget games that are
that are completely plot holed and stuff.
They're like, I didn't do that, or
Yeah.
I did that and you guys didn't seem to notice. This game seems like it
breaks the experience a lot.
This game never does that. Never once
Yeah.
does it trip over its logic, which I really appreciate. This one. There's a whole string of different endings here.
Really?
Yes. They are all dramatically different too. So we'll do our best with these.
So every time you put on the mask.
The first part is the same, but then there's 3 different paths, all of which are different endings with different outcomes.
That's so creepy.
But to be clear, these are all bad endings.
Okay.
Effectively,
I was gonna ask,
they're not.
Do you ever see Kazuki in a good way? In a good way, probably not. Then.
Stay tuned.
I feel like it won't just let you like step through the door and we're in Sunshine and Rainbow Land again.
Yeah.
Because you did a lot of questionable or outright bad things just to get there.
Yeah.
Something's changed. Ripped out of me as I entered, fading. I have to focus while I'm still me. There's someone else here. Kazuki, is it you? Stay put. I'll find you. Kazuki? Kazuki? Kazuki, is that you? Kazuki, say something. You can hear me, right? What if Reina was right? What if he's already gone? Kazuki, please.
Who? Ito? Ayami? Ayami, why are you here?
That doesn't matter. All that matters is I heard you and I'm here now.
I can't believe it. Why? Is it really you?
What's wrong?
I'm sorry. It's strange. I feel light. The memories are coming back. I'm sorry. I need a little time. I think I remember. Ayami, how are you here, though? You shouldn't be here.
No, I probably shouldn't be, but I came for you.
The way I got here, I can remember it now. Ayami, she didn't...
No, I came here on my own. She can't hurt us anymore.
She's still out there? Poor thing.
She's beyond help, Kazuki.
Ayami, I can't remember clearly. I have to know what happened that night in the sewer. Why were you there?
You know why I was there. I was looking for you, but it was a trap and I fell right into it. Maybe you think I'm a fool, but I was desperate. There she was, a girl I'd shot before, and you, helpless?
I heard a gunshot before I woke up in the tunnels. Was that you?
I didn't have a choice.
I doubt I could have done any better in your shoes. What's wrong?
Is it true?
Is what true?
That you went with her willingly? That you gave her the mask? Kazuki, I have to know. Did you know what happened?
It's true, but not in the way that you think. I saw her, a girl surrounded by an impossible darkness, whom I was obsessed with over her death, and she was alive somehow. I thought I found the truth, the real truth, the kind of truth that tells us why we're here. I didn't tell you because I'd convinced myself that faced with the impossible, I dove straight in thinking of anyone else.
Again, just do
Yeah.
your best.
Do your best.
Trying.
It's a lot of stuff.
You went so fast over the longest parts.
Tried to break her, and you come out here. Yep.
But the truth is, I couldn't accept that you were gone. I couldn't accept that there were mysteries I couldn't solve. So like an idiot, I came after you. I didn't care about the girl. She was just a piece of the puzzle. Everyone and everything she touched suffered. To think that she was able to trick you.
It wasn't a trick. I saw the same puzzle you did, but I hadn't seen how far she'd gone, and I still haven't. I still think there's a girl under the cracks crying out for help. We didn't solve it, did we? All those formless shapes aren't any more solid now.
No, but maybe that wasn't the point.
What do you mean?
Maybe we're not meant to know what it all means, yet here we are, trying to change something that can't be changed. The mask and the shape-shifting darkness, they were made by people who wanted control. People like us who were confronted with a mystery they had to solve. Fate and chance, life and death, the march of time, having control over them is an illusion. Standing here with you, I understand that now. Guess that makes us lousy detectives, huh?
We weren't ever that good to begin with. I got myself kidnapped and you were dumb enough to follow me. Thanks, Ayami. All those mysteries suddenly pale in comparison to the thought of having another day in our drafty apartment.
Yeah. It was you who called to me, wasn't it? That night in the sewer.
I don't remember. Everything since then is hazy. I wandered aimlessly. I was so tired and my body was so heavy. I started hearing other voices and seeing shapes in the darkness, formless things that felt like people I desperately wanted to see, telling me everything would be alright if I kept moving, people I haven't seen in a long time. One day I saw my mother. She told me she missed me and that I should keep walking through the door and beyond. Did I ever tell you about my mother?
She died when you were 15. She couldn't have been here.
Still, I heard her like I can hear you now.
Kazuki, what have we gotten ourselves into?
I don't know, but I'm glad we're in it together. We made a hell of a team, didn't we? Although we just established we're lousy detectives.
Right.
Falling into each other's messes. I guess they're a team at being bad. What I'm trying to say is
Kazuki, are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. How about you?
It's nothing serious.
That's never happened before. It must be reacting to you.
I just had an earthquake.
Ayami, thank you for finding me, but you can't stay here.
What are you saying? Neither can you. That's why I'm here, right?
Thank you for coming in for me. It makes me happy to see you, happier than you know, but I love you.
Stop talking like that. You can save it for when we're back.
Ayami, stop. What I'm saying it because I might not have another chance. When I finally arrived at the door, I felt warmth. Something told me if I kept walking, all the pain and uncertainty would go away.
Then why didn't you?
Because I was waiting for you. Somehow I knew you were coming for me, and I wanted to see you and have one last self-centered moment.
Last? No, stop saying that. You're the one who wasn't supposed to be here. Can't you see that? It wasn't supposed to turn out this way. Tell me why you can't come back with me. Why I'm sorry. I feel a little dizzy.
When I was lost in the dark, every time I moved forward, a piece of me was left in my footsteps until all I could feel was fear, until I reached the door and everything faded away. Ever since you've arrived, I remembered who I was, all my happiness and joy, but all my suffering and doubt as well. If I kept walking beyond the door, maybe I'd forget it for good. All those things that made us human can't exist here, and if you stay, you'll fade away, Yami. So many people told me that being alone with you, or being with you, was a mistake, and that I should find a more normal girl to settle down with.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch, right? But the normal girls didn't understand me. They didn't make me better. I thought this dialogue was very weird.
Yeah.
I chose right. I wouldn't be who I am without you, but you'll be nothing if you stay here.
Kazuki, No, there has to be a way.
You said it yourself. This place is beyond our control.
So you're giving up? After all this suffering, after everything I went through. It's not the man I love. That's this place talking.
Ayami, I want nothing more than to go back with you, but I know if I leave, I won't be whole. The longer you stay here, the more it will destroy who you are. You have to turn back.
Maybe he's right. Maybe this is the end of the road. I guess Reina was right after all. This place changed you. At least for now, I can talk to you, see you again, and tell you that I tried. There isn't much time. I can feel myself being torn apart. Returning to the surface is the only chance I have of saving myself.
Okay, and so this one, we leave.
Okay.
This is violent, too. There's actually 3 choices here if you get here peacefully, which
Kazuki,
I had to run through the game again to get.
I can't stay here.
I know, you don't have to say anything. You can't stay here, and I can't leave. Guess that only leaves us with one option then, huh? Don't worry about me. Now that you've said it and it's in the open, I feel at peace. My choices led me to this, and that doesn't mean you deserve to suffer. Besides, you've got your whole life ahead of you. So many adventures left to have.
Right, old man.
I can accept that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, Ayami, you've got nothing to be sorry about. Not after everything I put you through. Don't apologize for saving yourself.
It's not that. You're wrong. I do have to apologize. When you were going after Reina, I didn't take you seriously. I thought you'd gone crazy chasing after some orphan girl. It wasn't like you at all, so I ignored you. In a way, it's my fault you ended up here in the first place. If I hadn't let that psychotic girl go after you, if I'd stayed with you on the night you went missing. But here I am, too late. Damn it, I'm really useless, aren't I?
Ayami, you don't honestly believe that, do you? I meant what I said before. We chose each other for a reason. Because you understood me better than I thought anyone ever could.
Why are you bringing this up now?
You always understood what made me tick. You made me better by never accepting the easy answer. I didn't tell you what I found because I knew you'd follow me and I'd drag you down with me. And I did. So let me be useful to you for once and let you off the hook. Maybe easier if you stayed with me, but you're not about the easy answer.
Never was very good at leaving you alone.
That's true.
Ever regret it? Choosing me, I mean. Jeez.
No. You?
Only had my doubts when you'd forget to buy the coffee.
What? I had to keep you on your toes somehow. It's strange, isn't it? Talking so normally in a place like this.
My head. I can't stay down here much longer.
I know that.
Look at us. We can't do anything right, can we?
No. Business as usual for us.
We're always running headfirst into things even when we didn't know how it would turn out.
It's a wonder we ever got anything done at all.
What will happen to you?
Doesn't matter. That night in the sewer, I was never the same after that. With you coming through the door, it's the first time I felt like the old me in a very long time. This could never be anything other than a goodbye, as much as I don't want it to be. We'll see each other again. Maybe.
One way or another. At least I found you. I'm glad I got to see you. I can't promise I won't stop searching for this place. But would it all?
Guess I should have expected that from the great Ayami Ito. Promise me you'll make a life when you get out of here. Be happy. Something.
I'll try.
You have to go.
I know. Just let me stay a little longer.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
Through all the dark times I had, you were always my light, my rock. When you disappeared, I was worried I'd never get to tell you that. Kazuki, it's time for me to go.
Until next time.
Wherever you end up, you'll wait for me, right?
You know it. Thank you for everything, Ayami.
Goodbye. I stood glued to the ground in that impossible place for a long time. Once I turned around, I never looked back, ignoring my every instinct. Tanaka remained silent. The man I met beyond the door was a shade, distant memory. Leaving was the only way to honor him, to try to make something new. As I emerged from the door, I gasped. Oh my god, he went so fast through her
You know what
monologue.
she's saying. Alright, we gotta go.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
sad, I'm leaving.
This is a really long scene, I must say. I feel like it's almost too redundant, and it makes me not care about their romantic connection at all.
It really takes a while to get where it's going.
Yeah.
We are not through the half of it, by the way. These endings are intense.
They're so long. Like,
Right,
I feel
they're-
like the impact is not the same on me.
There is a very melodramatic one coming, I promise you.
Oh no. I mean, okay. I feel like the impact of, like, Daizo's bad ending was much stronger because it was succinct and to the point.
Right, it was
I
just
don't
like,
feel
he's
bad
dead.
for them meeting here and her having to leave, like, at all. Because it was so long and repetitive.
Right, we get it. They're like, they were in
Yeah.
love. And that's effectively what he says here. Like, hey, they were in love.
I feel like some of... I'm gonna, like, hot take here, but I feel like some of Kazuki's dialogue is just, like, very older brother or dad-ish.
Yes! Yes, I completely agree
Thank
with you.
you, because I'm like, I feel like she's in love with him more than he's in love with her.
Right, he's kind of like,
He's
it's
kind of
cool
in love
that you're
with his
here,
job,
but...
yeah, and she came with that. But
Yeah.
maybe he's just not great at expressing himself.
Yeah.
I don't know, or
I
he just
totally
wasn't
agree.
written in the same way.
So this is the stay together
Okay.
ending?
I won't leave you.
You have to. You can't take me back, and the only way for you to get back to the surface is to go, and now, I'm sorry.
That's not what I meant.
Ayami, don't be stupid.
Stupid. Every day since Reina sent you here, the dark has been seeping into my existence and drawing me toward it. So I followed its pull, and when I did, I heard you call to me. Then everything fell apart. I was kicked off the police force, my friends abandoned me, I couldn't even keep track of what was real. So I chose to run toward the dark and everything I feared most, despite every instinct telling me not to find you.
Ayami,
When I chose to go through the door, I gave up a piece of myself. The only reason I remember what I am is because you're here with me. And now that I'm standing here, I'm not afraid anymore.
Ayami, you have to understand, I haven't been able to talk to remember myself for a long time. If we stay here, this won't be our reality. We'll both fade into nothing.
Everyone has to face that, Kazuki. Before, when you said you wanted to forget the world above, I was hurt, but I think I understand it now. Every day I lifted my feet and trudged onward, not really knowing why, but now that we're together, I get it. We've suffered enough. I wanted to be with you, so let's forget the world together.
You can't expect me to let you throw your life away. I won't let you.
Won't let me? Since when have you been able to stop me?
This is different. Like, very different.
What exactly do you think you're saving me from? My life unraveled. Half of our friends think I killed you. The only thing that would be left for me is mental hospital or prison. No, that's no way to live. My mind's made up.
Stubborn as always, huh?
Of course, wouldn't be me if I wasn't.
I can't argue with you there. To be honest, part of me wanted this. It's selfish, I know, but I was scared, man. Once I passed through the door, I didn't want to continue, even though every bone in my body told me to. Fears always held me back. I'm sorry, Ayami, for leading you here, for everything.
If that was your idea of leading me, you didn't do a very good job. No, Kazuki, I came here myself, and I don't regret a second of it, even if it didn't turn out like we'd hoped. And as terrible as the last few weeks were, we saw something. Part of the mystery that everyone desperately wishes to see. Now we get to go to the next step, whatever that is, together, knowing for certain there's more to it. Guess that makes us some of the lucky ones.
You're really not scared. Like, I'm freaking out over here.
A little? No, that's wrong. I am. A lot. I'm really scared. But I'm not scared of this place, just of what I don't know.
There's still a chance for you to turn back. Like, seriously, I would go.
I wonder what I gave up already by coming down here. Reina's bloodlust, her hatred, all came from trying to reconcile. I won't return to becoming a rabid dog.
It's an interesting thing she points out there. So what now?
Yeah. It's easy, really. We start walking. Here, take my hand.
Promise not to let go.
Yakusoku da yo? Well, Kazuki, we've really gotten ourselves in the deep end now, huh? Let's find out what happens next. Together. So we did the only thing there was to do. We walked forward, hand in hand. As the door gets farther away, so do my memories of the world beyond it. Faces and places that I saw so recently feel like a lifetime ago. No one knows what happens next. But at least we're together. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, right? So, whatever.
That one wasn't as bad. It was just... Okay.
I feel like some of the
Seems like the easier choices.
some of the melodrama is sort of negate. I mean, like, choosing to go find him is clearly the she loves him more, and choosing to, like, help Reina is the other way around.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he was more... Like, it's you sort of decide that based on which ending you pursue there.
That's an interesting take.
Yes,
I didn't think about it like that.
most interesting. But again, yeah, it's... The next ending coming up is the ending that you have to do for when you are peaceful. And then you try to do all of that, you get a third ending.
Okay.
This next one, it goes a minute.
Do we have a minute?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're getting there. I think there's only 2 left. I think there's this one, which is like the bittersweet worst ending is what I would call this next one.
Okay.
And then what I would consider to be, we'll talk about it when we get there.
Sure.
There's the one after this, I would say, is the like.
Oh, she's gonna try and drag him through
You
the
have
door.
to go.
Noble. We're in it together, no matter how bad it gets. That was our one promise to each other from the start. Stick it out when things get tough.
This is different. I won't sit here and watch you fall apart.
Stop talking down to me like I don't get it. I've seen everything you have. More, even. I'll admit, you're right. I don't fully understand what's going on. For the last few weeks, I've been clutching at whatever shreds of the truth I could find, not knowing if I could really believe in myself. I have a feeling that when you were investigating her, you came across impossible things like I did. The thing is, you're just as lost as me. Neither of us is going to make sense of anything if we stay here. The only thing left for us here is death.
I didn't say that.
You didn't have to. It's obvious what you think.
If I leave here, I might not be myself and no one will believe you.
That's true. Nothing's going to be the same, but I can think of worse possibilities. Staying in this place is what hurt Reina and destroyed her mind. Poor thing. I won't let it happen to you.
Yeah, but she was definitely fine when she left.
Sure. If I left you, I'd regret it for the rest of my life. And I won't have a life or even a chance of one if I stay here. You're not wrong. We've both given up something by even being here, but that doesn't mean that we should give up. You trust me, right?
I wouldn't have waited if I didn't. Oh, my head.
We don't have much time. Let's go. What are you waiting for?
I mean, I'm scared. I didn't want to admit it, but I am. I am terrified. The only certainty I've had since I got here is that the further I go, the more I forget, and that is why I stayed put.
I'm scared too.
No matter what I become, you promise to stay with me? Like, it could get bad.
Mm-hmm. Always.
No matter what?
No matter what. Pinky promise.
Okay. All right, let's
Come
go.
on. We have to go.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Let's escape this nightmare.
It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Rainbows.
Yay. Okay. But
There's
what
some
if...
pills on the other side. Whatever tomorrow brings, we'll deal with it. One step at a time. Wow, she's got a very positive outlook.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll
Besides, you said a what if isn't good enough for a detective. Detective logic.
be fine. Using my own words against me. Classic.
You chose me because you knew I wouldn't accept the easy way out. Well, I suffered too much to accept this as my ending.
That night in the sewer, that was the last time I felt like myself until, like, now, I guess.
Stop parroting the dialogue so much. Then we'll find out what's next together. It'll be okay, I promise.
Okay.
Come on, let's go.
He doesn't have his cool, like, 90s choker in that scene. I don't know why.
huh.
That's kind of why I dude him up a little bit. He collects fossils and he wears, like, a goofy 90s choker.
True.
So they come up for air, they
Yep.
leave. Piece of you went with the door.
Oh, for sure.
It's toll taken. I never felt right after leaving.
We heard sobbing in the hollow spaces, echoing off the walls. Shadows lost all definition, everything turned to darkness.
I talked to Kazuki as he walked, but as we neared the surface, his speech turned to murmurs and then whispers and finally nothing.
Uh-oh. Eventually, I dragged him into the light, his eyes lost in some distant dream.
Cool.
He's a zombie. Oh, God. After that day, he never spoke again. He lay in bed, his eyes glazed over, looking into a world I couldn't see. Oh my God. Okay. After the door, the memories I had of his murder and kidnapping became mine alone, and the world continued as if they never happened. To everyone else, he just suffered some sort of accident. For his sake, I cast the mask into the sea near Kamakura, and despite the warnings I received, it never returned to me. I can still feel it occasionally scratching at the back of my mind like a needle. Interesting. Oh!
Oh, yeah, the
Right.
grandmother and my
My
die in this
grandma are
ending
dead.
as well.
They never found a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
After leaving, I had trouble remembering things. My parents, my time in the police, my childhood. I see pictures and can feel impressions. Things became more confusing and more erratic, so I stay home with Kazuki. Some nights I wake up afraid. I don't know why, but at least we're together. Yep, you certainly are together.
Right. This feels like we're messing up timelines, right?
Yeah.
And also, Reina's still on the loose and exacted her
Sure, yeah.
revenge on the shrine as well. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's...
Well, she'll never find the mask.
Right.
Oh.
Smiles but doesn't see me. Looks at the far off
Mrs.
place.
Fluff is gone. Katsukuri. Sounds really good, actually. He doesn't say anything, but he shifts a little and smiles again. And smile reminds me of a baby. It's vacant, a reflex.
Nice. Good ending.
I don't think there's anything left of his mind. All that return from that place was a shadow. Yet here I am attending to him, praying he'll come back to me. Every day I wake up hoping for a miracle. I play the part of my normal self, put on a mask and pretend nothing is wrong. As time passes, I feel worn. I have no job. Soon enough, my savings will dry up. Before long, I won't even be able to afford to make him curry. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a real feel for the times today. I'm gonna go out, okay? It's been a while since I've been outside. Now, even riding the train feels strange and confining. As I walk by, people turn and stare. In the shop window, I look at myself in the glass and see a stranger. The face of an exhausted, gaunt woman stares back at me.
Oh, Ayami Ito. Is that you? It's been so long. Come, sit.
Thank you, Yasuhisa. It has been a while, I guess.
I got bad news for you. What's on your mind? It feels like you have something to ask me.
I want you to bring Kazuki back, or tell me how. I don't know. I just need help. As soon as I say it, I know what I asked for is impossible. They don't come back just because you asked nicely. If even one of the countless prayers begging for a lost love was filled, it would never happen. Still, Yasuhisa is not ordinary. Memories of my meeting with him are hazy. I know he can do something.
Ayami, you know I can't. Enough has changed already. Impossible things have to come to pass. You already messed up real good this time. You remember the story of Izanagi and Izanami, don't you? Your love is an admirable thing, but even love can't reverse debt.
But you're different. You don't have to follow rules like us.
Sort of. Though we may view the rules from a different angle than you, we are still bound to obey them nonetheless.
Scammer.
You're a smart woman. You know you have to let him go. Keeping him or whatever's left of him at your side will only deepen the wound.
I know that. But if I let him go, it will destroy him. Destroy any hope I have of him returning. That's your hope, though. That's not his hope. I can't. He smiles at me, you know? I can feel him sometimes, like he's waiting to come back. I can't leave him.
It is truly awful what happened to him. If I were to write this story, Kazuki Tanaka would never have gotten involved with any of these horrible things. But this is the ending you picked, and I know that if I could, I would give you what you asked for. Perhaps this is not what you want to hear, but the man in your apartment is nothing but a corpse.
Harsh.
Maybe it's not what you want to hear, I don't know.
Corpse. I'm keeping Kazuki's body.
He's a figment, a reminder of a man that once was. Send him on! Say your goodbyes, it will be easier.
Wait, do we have to get rid of him?
No, I don't think
My
so.
goodbyes? What good would that do? Would he even understand them? Is it even him I'd be saying goodbye to? Yasuhisa sinks into his chair, deep in thought. Finally, he opens his eyes, a pained expression on his face.
I cannot bring the dead back, but I could let you see him again, if only for one day.
Only a day? Why?
Because I said so. It's all I can do. Then he must be taken to the other side. Of course, this is not an offer to change fate. You must decide to let go of him, child.
I thought about what he said for a long time. 24 hours. I could see him for 24 hours, but then he'd be gone forever. I'll do it. I'll let him go. Just let me see him again.
Remember what you've said until we meet again. Okay?
Sure.
Ayami, is that you? Where'd you run off to? I feel great. I'm awesome.
Uh-huh.
I'm no longer a husk of a man.
Kazuki?
Since when did you become such a good cook? No offense, but you've been practicing your curry skills. Have you been practicing your curry skills behind my back?
Kazuki!
Whoa, what happened? Your eyes are all puffy. Have you been crying?
Sure thing.
Did something bad happen? Come on, you can tell me. I'm completely fine. I'm not at all a flesh puppet.
He stands in the center of the room as if nothing is wrong. I feel my eyes fill with tears again. No, I'm fine. It's probably just allergies or something.
Yeah, I'm fine too. I'm not a flesh puppet. Allergies? Oh, hold on. I bought some allergy medicine in advance for this year, remember? I vowed to never get blindsided by hay fever again. Ha ha! I'm fine. I'm fine. Are you fine?
Gives me a big hug. I cling to him, hiding my tears through a smile. Later, we eat the same curry I've been making him all this time. Feels like I can taste it for the first time in a long while.
I'm so fine. Hey, they say the best curry always has chocolate in it. It enhances the flavor. What do you think?
You're full of shit.
I'm so fine.
Not so fast. I can tell when you're trying to get a secret out of someone, Kazuki. Our conversation was every day, boring. It was wonderful, but at the edges of my mind, a slow dread began to creep in. Tomorrow he would be gone. I'd have to help destroy him forever. And didn't you already do that? I think we have a peach in the fridge for dessert. Can you get it for me?
Dessert peach. A peach? I haven't had a peach in ages. I remember my mom used to always give me peaches to eat when I was sick.
I can't remember buying a peach.
When did we buy this peach?
Why did I say that to him?
I love peaches.
Parasite. Spoilers. Okay.
Didn't go shopping. Just a magic peach
Why would I have a
appeared.
peach in the fridge?
Uh-oh,
Magic
peach.
When did I buy that?
When did you buy this peach?
I don't know. I'm
Is
not
the
sure.
peach a metaphor? It seems it's been there for a while, hasn't it? You always have something sweet squirreled away in there. I don't like the way Kazuki talks.
Me either. It's so weird.
He's so weird.
He's a dork.
He's I'm not endeared by him.
I'm not either. I'm more endeared by her. The peach has always been there for years.
Yeah, the peach has always been there. Come
Perhaps
on.
it had always been there, prepared for this moment. Stranger things had happened.
Yeah, we laugh.
I wish the
Time.
moment would last a little longer as we ate this peach slowly.
Kazuki and I are staying in our little apartment together. Still wait for tomorrow to come, but I glance at the clock that never advances. A
Right.
window for a morning that doesn't come.
I can't hear anything outside. The TV and the internet don't work either. It's just alone, us in this room. In the corner, Lady Fluffington sleeps peacefully. It seems like she'll be that way forever.
And ever.
And ever. As time passes, or as it seems to pass, we don't find ourselves getting hungry or growing bored. We sit together, laughing and holding each other, waiting for a dawn that I pray never comes. But the dread I felt is replaced with happiness.
It's totally fine. Everything's
I'm
fine.
just floating in a happy aquarium now. In this world, Kazuki isn't gone. Those horrible things never happened to us.
So
Dizzy and overjoyed, we've cheated the universe, if only for now.
I think the historian puts you on a very small time loop.
Sure.
That's sort of that
makes sense,
that
yeah.
sort of suggests. He also talks a little bit about the peach and how it's core to the Izanagi myth and all that stuff here.
It's a zoo.
This one is the most interesting of the dialogue choices. He didn't break any rules. He basically just shortened a loop just for you two.
Yeah. Just tightened it up real.
Right. Tomorrow will never come for these two.
Mm-hmm.
They're locked into this. Like he says, you're under glass in this ending. It's not real. Well, it is real, but it's not. You're like in your own short
He took
time
pity
loop.
on you. Yep.
Right. $2 in a display case.
They're trapped in a painting. It's like cruel, but not cruel.
Right. In that ending, you wonder. You always kind of assume the collector's the evil one, but
Yeah, but you actually are wondering now who's
the
actually
historian.
evil one.
So this ending is the most like, if we can go Steins Gate 0,
Mm-hmm.
this is the decision that would start Steins Gate 0 or Tokyo Dark 0, as it were.
Okay.
This is purification. Purification, getting there, peaceful mind. You've done everything right. You haven't screwed anybody over. You're just gonna destroy the mask.
Okay.
So we're not gonna be a slave to the mask. We're just gonna destroy it.
Burn the hell out of that thing.
Right. It's
Hopefully.
just gonna be gone.
If Grandma gives us the right incantation. Slowly.
This is the ending that actually most players get. It's something like
okay.
30% of players
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
And I personally think this is the worst ending.
Really?
Yes. Not in terms of content, obviously, but what happens after you do this, I feel is, like we thought, the mask it wants you to do this.
Yeah, we were like, oh hell no, we're gonna do the actual thing.
Right, we have to do something with the mask. We can't just destroy it. Like, why does the mask exist? And so, again, much like, Steins Gate, he ultimately decides, we got to do this one thing. We got to destroy the mask.
Yep.
And let's watch what happens when we do that.
So I have to go back. Can't move. Death. Everything about this place feels like death.
What if I'm wrong? Kazuki Reina could still be down there. That's what it wants. That's why I need to destroy it. But if it could be so easily destroyed, it's like, why wouldn't...
It actually gives you the opportunity to reconcile this decision right here. If you're like, wait, this isn't the what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
This is, I
So
think...
you could go back and just leave.
Right. I think this is effectively the ending that the devs want you to get first to understand that it's wrong.
Well,
But...
turning back now.
Right. So...
No, we said fuck that.
Right. We didn't do that.
That's interesting.
We forgave Reina, which I think is the truest thing you can do.
Alright. She knew it was the right thing to do. You brought something, didn't you, from the compound?
Right, this is where the stone amulet comes into play.
I did. I found an old wooden amulet.
Wooden
You were
amulet,
right.
excuse
The
me.
darkness I felt, there was the same. Seriously? Wait, this is actually real? When I was there, I saw visions from the past of people who are gone now. I know about the ritual Tokimasa tricked them into performing. How could you let it happen? She was just a girl. There's no answer I can give that would satisfy you. No answer? Is that the best you can do? That's why you fled, isn't it? You knew all about Tokimasa's ritual and what would happen to everyone who was left behind. You took Mai and Takashi and ran and did nothing to stop it. Stop it? What could have changed? Emiko knew what staying meant for her children as well as I did. She was willing to die, however Tokimasa told her to. I couldn't persuade my own daughter to save herself. You think I didn't try? The police never would have believed an old woman talking about ancient rituals. They were monsters. They weren't monsters, they were lost, looking for answers in a world that had none for them. Much like you, like us. In my years at the mask, I could hear them sometimes in the darkness along with voices I did not recognize. I always thought they were vengeful, restless, punishing me for my sins. Once we purify the mask, perhaps they will forgive us. Did you find the girl chasing you, this Reina? Did you ask her forgiveness? Forgiveness? I'm not sure if that's possible anymore. After everything that girl went through, all of her self-hatred and sorrow are part of the mask now. I felt it all at this shrine the day I shot her. Do you think that this will put a stop to all of it? The whispers, Reina, all of the strange things we've seen? Atonement is a journey, one that expands past our time on this earth. It will at least allow us to take the first step towards righting our sins. Our sins, huh? Hold on. I've only ever done good luck rituals and harmless little blessings. This is different. Grandma, this is real. I don't know if I can do this. Mai, calm yourself. A ritual has meaning in its very act. It is God's way of preparing us for the true test. You are a pure child, and combined with your will, that will give the ritual power. It will work. It must. Why me? Because you are not corrupted by it. Only you can do it. You can bring your mother peace. Please, Mai, you have to try. I know you think it's crazy, but this mask has caused a lot of people to suffer. It doesn't matter if you believe us. Just do it knowing that it will help me and your grandma move on. So we're gonna sacrifice her? You haven't seen what we've seen, so I don't blame you for being skeptical, but can you believe in helping? You can believe in helping us, right? I just want this all to end. Me too. Every day it's been harder to keep things straight, and I think this mask is partly to blame. It's silly. I'm not religious, never have been. But I want this all to stop, to become normal again. I want to believe that it will work, and I want to believe in you. So please, I'm begging you to try. Okay. Thank you, Mai. Mai, are you ready? I just need a moment to prepare. What if we're wrong? What do you mean? What if the mask isn't the problem? What if we're making it worse? An old man told me the mask didn't create the shadows, it only opens your vision to them. So are we doing the right thing? What if we're missing something? Are you losing your resolve? No, it's just Tanaka, the man who died, the one I was searching for. He always said a what if isn't good enough for a detective. I guess old habits die hard, and there's still so much I don't understand. And you never will. It's a matter of faith, child. Okay, I'm ready. Emiko, please forgive me for leading you to these people and for what happened to you. I tried to save you, I tried. I pray you find peace. Grandma, are you ready? Yes, I'm ready.
I think this art looks really cool.
Yeah. As the ritual continued, I felt an overwhelming sadness. Like something had been ripped out of me that I would never find again. At that moment, the whispers of the mass turned into desperate, pleading screams. I closed my eyes and hugged myself like a child, utterly engulfed in fear. Then there was silence. When I opened my eyes, the mask was split in two. I knew in that moment that Kazuki was dead and had been all along. We all left the shrine in silence. I never returned. Nothing was quite right after that day. Reina's presence was gone, but I started to feel other things. The shadows began to take on new, fearful shapes. Tokyo began to change, crime shot up, and the murder rate peaked at an all-time high that year. The police were so swamped with the wave of violence that they reinstated me as a homicide detective. The investigation into me was dropped entirely. I quit within 6 months. Just didn't have the stomach for it anymore, and after what happened to Kazuki, I could never focus. What if the ritual was a mistake? What if everything that happened since then was all my fault? Sometimes I wake up at night wondering if the world of the dark was the truth and my life is now a dream, an afterimage from being exposed to it. I don't go out much these days. I can't bear to face the real world.
And then all of Tokyo Dark Zero would happen there.
Sure.
The bad world.
Yep.
But anyway, now we're going to actually find out the truth, which I have not seen, and I'm excited to finally close the book on this whole thing. So we'll be right back with that.
Woo!
Woo!